Here we are today, bringing you groups of old Colombia stamps. Look at these two. Now they're both fives, and it's both the same portrait. But if you notice, the one on the left is a lot bigger. Sometimes the same stamp, but the different in size, will bring you more value. So, kind of hoping for this one. Definitely bigger. Same exact, a little different in the brown. Being the smaller one is a little darker in the brown. But very interesting to find the same exact one, just one is smaller than the other. And that can make a big difference. Alright, so let's move on and see our second group. Here we have the second group. Now the first row are both twos. First you have in green, and this is when they started adding more people. Has its own representation. Look at that. You have the green. And then you have the brown. Both are twos. Now if you look in the second row, you will find those are both fives. So first you have the yellow and brown for 5. Now if you notice that these all had to go through double printing, because first you have the basic background, like the first one was green, and then the portraits were brown and white. Then you have the second one where the stamp was brown, but the portrait's black and white. Now on this first 5, you have the background is yellow, but you have the brown. So you have both those colors going on, brown and yellow. So it had to go through double printing. And then on this second 5, you have blue with the double printing of the portrait being brown and white. Now sometimes, very rarely, but if you find one, you're in luck, where when it went through the second printing, the portrait would be upside down from the writing. If you ever find one of those, by all means get it graded and get it to one of the big auction houses, because that will be a beautiful one, and it'll be a nice valuable one to you. You will definitely like it. Money's good, always good. Okay, now let's go to our third group here. Now this one's rather interesting, because first you have that first one there. It's a 2, but look at the cancellation that's on it. It's kind of like a design of blue, clear and blue. It's a very different cancellation. Then on the second row, if you look at the 15, the blue and white portrait, blue and white stamp, you have an overprint of an A. Now sometimes these overprints are very valuable too. So you want to keep an eye on that and, check the stamp out, because overprints can make a big difference in the value. So that one has a great big OA, and you can't miss that at all. Alright. And then your second one is 60. And that's a gray and white. Now let me take you to the last group in this set here. Now here's our last group. Now these, if you notice, you don't see the preparation going around the stamp, because back in the old days when they first started, they cut them out as you wanted them, as you needed them. And then you'd have to, glue it yourself, I guess. Definitely wasn't stick and glue like we have today, huh? Just put it on, tap it down, you're all set. Not in those days. But they would cut it out at the post office. You want a 1? Okay, we'll cut it out. You want a 4? We'll cut it out. And that's the way it was done back in the old days. So that's what this group represents. So I have the 1 in, kind of looks bluish. Some would say blue and some would say a dab of green, so kind of in between. Okay, you have your 3, which is orange and white. If you notice, there's no double printing on these. These are simple. They have the portrait. They're all the same portrait, just different colors and different values. And then on you have your 4, which is a brown and white. Simple as that. All right. I hope you've enjoyed my bringing these beautiful, beautiful Colombia stamps to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more of whatever we find. Alrighty? Bye-bye now.